Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here on Thursday evening, the 18th of April, a look through the Easter weekend and beyond towards the end of the month. It's a generally warm pattern that will take us through the Easter weekend and even onwards into next week. There's some fronts trying to come in from the Atlantic to give some low cloud and rain to the western side of Scotland in particular. And increasingly through next week, it's a story of showers breaking out, so those could become more widespread and thundery as the week goes on. It's a straightforward picture as we begin the long weekend. High pressure is still centred out towards the east as it has been for many recent days. The airflow is a warm south to southeasterly and the hills are extensively free of cloud. Lots of sunshine around, a hazy atmosphere still, so visibility not that great. A bit gusty in places, particularly towards the north of higher summits in Scotland, but the wind speeds generally fairly light and temperatures mild to warm in the valleys, getting up towards 20 degrees or locally higher, and even up to Munro height into double figures. Into Saturday, and some complications coming into west and northwest Scotland as a weak front comes in off the Atlantic. Very little on this, it's a zone of cloud. There may be patches of rain, but not coming to a great deal. It may just shroud some of those western hills in Scotland around Skye, Torridon, and maybe a bit further inland with time through the day. Elsewhere, though, with high pressure in charge, it's another warm and sunny day, hazy once again, and not many isobars on the chart across the country, so winds are generally light. Maybe a bit gusty though, just again towards northern Scotland around that front. Small chance of just a local shower popping up somewhere over the central and eastern highlands through into the afternoon. Now for Easter Sunday, further fronts are trying to come in from the Atlantic. A bit of a tricky one in terms of absolute detail, but a fairly damp atmosphere is in charge across the Highlands. In the morning at least, many hills could well be shrouded in low cloud, and across western coastal regions that low cloud may stick much of the day with some patchy rain coming and going. A chance of a shower again just breaking out across more central and eastern regions of Scotland through the course of the day. The winds strongest across the western mountains, maybe even nudging up towards gale force around western coastal hills in Scotland. Comparatively though, lighter winds further southwards into England and Wales, and here it stays dry and warm again with high pressure still in charge. Sunshine a bit hazy due to high cloud associated with those fronts, but it's a fair day for England and Wales. Into Monday, and high pressure is still towards the east, and fronts that are out to the west of the British Isles look like being deflected back away again. So the indications are for Monday, it's a fine day with sunshine again rather hazy. Most places, though, looking dry for the day. Could just be some low clouds sticking around in the western side of Scotland, but for many areas it should lift and break. Again, it's a warm day with temperatures topping 10 degrees on the higher areas and 20 degrees quite possibly in the valleys and the glens. Small chance locally of a shower breaking out into the afternoon inland. Now further onwards into next week, and high pressure initially is out to the east of us, as it has been for some time. The airflow stays that mild or warm south-southeasterly, so temperatures will stay up for the much of the week. We've got low pressure out around Biscay and also low pressure between Scotland and Iceland. It looks as though around Tuesday it's still a fine and warm day for most places with that south to southeasterly flow. But with the presence of low pressure being nearby, I think increasingly as we head onwards into midweek, a slack and more unstable pattern is developing, and there's an increasing risk of showers breaking out, and these could become more widespread and indeed thundery as we go onwards over a few days through the week. That warmth and the humidity getting into the air, just the trigger then for some thunderstorms trying to break out. All very messy, all very hit and miss. I suspect they'll tend to track increasingly northwards as the week goes on. So just bear in mind that a bit more broken pattern and a greater chance of some downpours as we go through next week. It looks as though pressure will try and build again from the south as we head towards the following weekend. Low pressure around Iceland, giving something of a west or southwesterly flow into Scotland, so keeping things a little bit more mixed in the Highlands. Largely dry and warm for England and Wales, it looks like. Temperatures somewhat lower in Scotland, although still doing pretty well. As we head onwards, just briefly towards the very end of the month, indications favour high pressure out west of us. Just maybe the early glimmers on a few of the longer range models that as we head towards the very end of the month, something a bit cooler just coming around from the north to northwest. A long way off for now, but just some indications of a chillier pattern by the very end of the month. So we'll keep an eye on those longer range details. In the short term, though, it's more warm weather with that scope for a breakdown as we go through next week. Have an enjoyable Easter weekend, and if you're heading out onto the hills, don't forget our forecasts are updated every single day on our website, so check out your local details. Thanks for watching this video today. Bye for now.